Good freaking morning. Woohoo! It's early, baby. Not even 6 a.m. yet, but we're getting going. Love it. Absolutely love it. Welcome into Sports with Balls. Sports with Huevos. I'm Jeff Michael, your host as always. Mad love to everyone out there. What a weekend. What a weekend we had. Hope you guys had a good weekend. Lots and lots to go over this Monday morning. Before I take my ass to work, this is my other work, if you will. Like I said, man, Sports with Balls. I'm Jeff Michael. Thank you for tuning in. If you're tuning in social media-wise, leave me a comment. I'll try to get to it as soon as I can. They'll pop up on the screen. And, yeah, of course, man, I will get to it. Today's show brought to you by Christian's Tailgate Bar and Grill. Get to christianstailgate.com. Find one near you. Place is fucking amazing. Yeah, award-winning hamburgers. They're like 28 televisions in each one of their places. Sorry, guys, I'm just getting up and going. Also, West Butler at Butler CCS, 713-330-9472. Fire, water, mold, roofing, you name it. Need your pool cleaned? Get over to C&E Pristine, 713-818-4868. And then, of course, if you're moving, Ordonez Movers, man, 713-373-1659. Give these guys a call, man. They're amazing. Mention them throughout the show as well. Follow us on Sports with Balls on all of your social media outlets. Facebook's been blowing up lately. Love that one. What is today? July the 28th. Shout out to my brother, Sean. Happy 50th birthday, man. Wow, 50. That is correct. That is wild. On July 28th, this Monday, July 28th, National Milk Chocolate Day. I'm going to try not to, but I'm sure I will partake in that. World Hepatitis Day. That's a scary one. What else we got? Buffalo Soldiers Day. There's a couple of them in here that I don't know, but National Soccer Day. That's a big one for sports fans and football fans. National Water Park Day. My son will be happy if he can get his butt to a water park today. World Conservation Day. Sure. The big one being milk chocolate, so there you go. Sports this weekend was crazy. We had the Hall of Fame induction. I'll get to the Baseball Hall of Famers that got introduced. It was wild. Baseball was wild. Did you guys go see the Happy Gilmore movie or see it at home? Netflix, Happy Gilmore 2. We had a little family outing. Did it here at the house in the movie room. Got pizza, Coke, everything ready. Man, the kids, we got the blankets and the pillows and sat down and watched Happy Gilmore 2. And, yeah, it was okay. 1 to 10, give me a 5. Give me a 6 maybe. It was entertaining the first half for sure, but then it just took a wild turn halfway through the movie. And wasn't that impressed. I think it was just for cameos, right? Like he did it just to squeeze as many people in there as possible. I wasn't that impressed. I loved Happy Gilmore 1, just like everybody else did, but the second one, not so much. By the way, speaking of Happy Gilmore, there's a guy by the name of Alex Jackson, plays for the Orioles on Saturday, that did a Happy Gilmore home run. Like he did. He walked up twice in the batter's box and smacked a home run for the Orioles. They were up. It was something like 17 runs at that point. It didn't matter. I forgot who they were playing, put in a position player and lobbed it in there. And the guy Happy Gilmore did it, which was pretty interesting. But, yeah, we'll get into all the baseball stuff here in a little bit later. But, yeah, man, Happy Gilmore 2 came out this weekend. It was fun. Hope you guys had a great weekend. But welcome back into Sports with Balls. Takes are hot, stories are fresh, fantasy football tips coming in here in a little bit, help you win your league. I'm your host, Jeff Michael. Today we'll dive headfirst into a full-on sports buffet. Buckle up. We got NFL training camps heating up faster than a Texas sidewalk in July. Rookies making noise. QB battles are brewing. Some teams already looking like they're in mid-season form. Speaking of, football is on this Thursday. It's on NBC on your television. Cannot wait. Hall of Fame game. The Major League Baseball headlines. Also, trade deadlines looming. Teams are buying, selling, straight up panicking. Astros. October might feel far off, but make no mistake, playoff races are already shaping up to be absolute chaos. This week will be wild in the MLB. There's always a massive trade to get into, and the deadline ends on Thursday. So you can bet that up until that moment, like we've seen, speaking of the Astros traded for Verlander 1 minute before the trade deadline ended. That was in 2017 when they won their first World Series. So we'll see a bunch of good trades. I'll go over the ones that have already been done so far in this 30 minutes. And for my fantasy football warriors out there, I got sleeper picks, breakout candidates, a few guys to avoid. And this season, we're going to dive into fantasy football, man. It'll be fun. I think today I'm doing quarterbacks. I'm here to help you build a juggernaut. That's what I'm going to do. Let's get into it. NFL, MLB, fantasy football. Here we go. Let's get down into the NFL, man. Let's get into the NFL. Training camps are on. Terry McLaurin, by the way, if you're a Washington fan, Terry McLaurin reported to camp. He was holding out. It lasted 2 days. He's back. Fantasy football, that is huge relevancy as far as fantasy football is concerned. Where's my NFL stuff? QB picks. That is not what I'm trying to get into right now. I guess we can get into fantasy football. I really don't want to at this moment, but I guess I don't have a choice. I'll just tell you the breaking news on the top headlines in the news as far as NFL is concerned. 49ers defensive end Jackson was taken off the field yesterday in an ambulance. Hope he's doing okay. I guess Aaron Rodgers had some comments on Terry Bradshaw. Like, whatever, dude. I'm not trying to listen to that. Aaron Rodgers. Did y'all see the video I posted up on social media, on Facebook, on Sports with Balls, where a kid threw a football to Aaron Rodgers and Aaron Rodgers threw it the other direction into the crowd? It was pretty funny. The Browns quarterback Pickett has a hamstring injury, by the way. And Shedeur Sanders for the Browns has only taken reps with third and fourth string guys. He has not played with the first team yet. I thought that was pretty interesting. Cardinals lose cornerback Thomas to an ACL tear. So the defense for the Arizona Cardinals already shaken up. I mean, injuries are big. Injuries are huge so far. And we see big injuries in camps every year. And it just is what it is. I don't know if the guys come in out of shape or however it takes place. But we're going to see massive injuries this year, as always, in training camps, and just hope that that everybody stays somewhat healthy. I'm not going to get in here and break down every single camp so far. I will on Wednesday get into the Hall of Fame game coming up. We have football on. That's just absolutely amazing. When's y'all's fantasy football drafts? When is your fantasy football drafts? I can't wait. I cannot wait till my fantasy football draft. And speaking of, let's break down the quarterbacks in fantasy freaking football. If you really want to dominate, you got to show up to the draft with more than just vibes. You need a game plan, and it starts with the quarterback position. Big names, picking the right QB at the right value is where championships are won. So let's break it down, guys. The top four. Here's who I would go after, fantasy football-wise. Jalen Hurts, Josh Allen, Pat Mahomes, Lamar Jackson. Jalen Hurts, he's a cheat code, guys. Jalen Hurts is an absolute cheat code. He is a monster in fantasy football. His rushing upside, and, of course, the tush push that they're going to get it. He's going to get how many rushing touchdowns this year? 7, 8, 9, maybe more. Josh Allen, same story. He runs a ton and throws bombs. And then, of course, Patrick Mahomes. He's not a win or bust by any means. It's Patrick Mahomes. He's still going to put up good numbers. Kelsey came back to camp and Kelsey looks good. He looks in shape. So I just wonder if Travis Kelsey's going to help Patrick Mahomes fantasy stats as much as he should. And then, of course, Lamar Jackson. He's very healthy. Those top four, dude. Hurts, Allen, Mahomes, and Jackson. Those are your QBs. Then you've got the next group of guys whose ceilings are going to get a little bit lower. Anthony Richardson for the Colts coming back. He's healthy now. He could rush for 1,000 yards. Anthony Richardson could rush for 1,000 yards. It would be fantastic. That's fantasy gold. And if he finds his arm, then you've got another Lamar Jackson right there. CJ Stroud and his weapons with the Texans. That's all about offensive line. If CJ Stroud's offensive line holds, the CJ Stroud could win you your league. He's mature. He's got Stephon Diggs. Well, I don't want to say that. Dak Prescott is another one that is just steady. So I would group Richardson, Stroud, and Prescott in my second tier, right? Somewhere in there. And sleepers. And one of these, Jaden Daniels is not necessarily a sleeper. The guy's amazing. And hopefully he continues what he did last year in his rookie season. So I hope that Bo Nix is also phenomenal. Those are a couple of sleepers. Aaron Rodgers. Okay, here's who you want to avoid. Here's the QBs you want to avoid. Aaron Rodgers, no freaking thank you. Deshaun Watson, no freaking thank you. Kyler Murray. I thought Kyler Murray was going to win me some leagues last year. I drafted him as my QB and probably way earlier than I should, but I figured he'd have a bounce back season. No. Kyler Murray absolutely destroyed me last year. So I would avoid Rodgers, Watson, and Kyler Murray. I wouldn't even pick him up in the middle of round 27. I'm not doing it. So your studs are Hurts, Allen, Mahomes, and Jackson. You could throw Joe Burrow in there, right? Joe Burrow last year had an MVP type season. His defense was just terrible, so they just faltered. That was a weird season for the Bengals. Jamar Chase led the receiving in a ton of categories, and Joe Burrow led the quarterbacks in a bunch of categories, and they had a losing record. It was terrible. That was a weird season. My tier 2 are Anthony Richardson, CJ Stroud, Dak Prescott, Justin Herbert. I can throw him in there. The value picks, Trevor Lawrence, Jared Goff. I'm not putting Purdy in there, or Jordan Love. Not Brock Purdy. San Francisco looks lost. And if Christian McCaffrey's not healthy and Purdy has to just hum the ball everywhere, he may be good. But I'm not trusting Brock Purdy at this point. Sleepers are Bo Nix, Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield could be a huge pickup in your league. Love Baker freaking Mayfield. That's my quarterback breakdown. I'll do running backs, wide receivers on Wednesday and Friday. We'll try to jump into a few of those, man. For right now, that's going to be your fantasy QB section, if you will. Man, today's just off. I'm off today, guys. Sorry. I'm off today. Where are we at? What are we getting into next? Major League Baseball? What happened over the weekend? Oh, Paul Skeens. Last night, another 9 Ks. I think he has an 1.82 ERA. Man, Paul Skeens, they should trade for him. And I said this last week. I said the Astros should probably trade the farm for him. They should. Paul Skeens is phenomenal. He's unfreaking believable. The deadline coming up. Let's see what happened. Paul Skeens K's 9 yesterday. Cal Raleigh hits number 41 yesterday. I told y'all already about that kid Alex Jackson hitting the Happy Gilmore home run. That was awesome. But the Baseball Hall of Fame is where it is at. Ichiro, the first Japanese-born player to enter the Hall of Fame. And there's a debate for Ichiro to be the best hitter in all of baseball, in the history of baseball. I know some people are going to go Pete Rose. This stat that they put out yesterday about Ichiro is unfucking believable, man. And I'm sorry. It just is. MLB hits by a member of the 3,000 hit club through the age of 26. These are hits that these guys got before they were 27 years old. Ty Cobb, 1,600. Robin Yount, 1,363. Alex Rodriguez, 1,354. Hank Aaron, 1,309 hits. These are all 3,000 hit guys, by the way. Cal Ripken, 1,084. Ricky Henderson, 1,022. Carl Yastrzemski, 1,012. Derek Jeter, 1,008 hits before the age of 27. Willie Mays, 903. Paul Molitor, 900. Pete Rose, 900. Pete Rose, before the age of 27, had 900 hits. Paul Wagner, Dave Winfield, Tony Gwynn, you get the point. Lou Brock, Craig Biggio. How many hits did Ichiro have before the age of 27 in the major leagues? 0. 0 hits before the age of 27 in the majors, and he ended up in a 3,000 hit club. Ty Cobb had already had half of that, over half, 1,600 by the age of 27. Ichiro had 0 hits in the MLB and was a member of the 3,000 hit club. That is one of the craziest stats I've ever seen in my life. He might be the best hitter that we've ever seen in Major League Baseball. That is absolutely phenomenal. Phenomenal stuff by Ichiro. Obviously, he gets into the Hall of Fame. Billy Wagner, given his speech was pretty good. Gave a shout out to Craig Biggio and Jeff Bagwell. Dave Parker, the late Dave Parker, his son got up there and gave an amazing poem that his father had wrote, which was pretty cool, man. CC Sabathia, the Yankee pitcher, gets in. With Dick Allen, and like I said, Dave Parker, Billy Wagner, CC Sabathia, Ichiro Suzuki. Yeah, man, it was a good night. It was a rain delay for the speeches, but then they got him in, and it was fun. It was fun, but I think the highlight being Ichiro. I could sit here and throw out stats for days about him. It's just phenomenal what that guy did. Phenomenal baseball, and if you add up his hit in the Japanese league, he blows everybody out the door. So he could probably still get out there and hit the ball. Ichiro was amazing. So congratulations to those guys getting into the Hall of Fame. Let's jump into the trade deadline. The MLB trade deadline is Thursday. Couldn't be more excited for this. Buyers, sellers, this is where some careers are made. This is a big week for Major League Baseball. This is bigger than the draft. This is a huge week. Completed trades so far. Josh Naylor from the Diamondbacks to the Mariners. Ryan McMahon this weekend moved from the Rockies to the Yankees. The Rockies receiving 2 prospects, Griffin Herring and Josh Groves. He'll share third base time. Ahmad Rosario was acquired by the Yankees as well in exchange for a pitching prospect. He's just a utility guy. The Mets added left-hand reliever Gregory Soto from the Baltimore Orioles. And here we go. Buyers, I just mentioned the Yankees. I just mentioned the Mets. I just mentioned the Mariners. Also buyers, the Cubs. The Chicago Cubs are going for a World Series championship. The Phillies, they are out there too, going for a World Series championship. Detroit Tigers, The next two, Detroit Tigers and Houston Astros, are buyers, but they have been playing terrible baseball. Good luck. Good luck, Detroit. Good luck, Houston. I want the Astros to do well, obviously. They just got off a 4-game sweep by the Oakland A's. Now, I know some of y'all are going to pull up that stat that says when the Astros get swept by the A's, they go to the World Series. I hope that's true, but they look terrible. And it's not their fault, honestly. I think they'd have 8 starting pitchers or 8 pitchers at least. I think 4 starters that are all injured. The Astros have been the most destroyed team by the injury bug, for sure. But it's not even close. They have been brutally decimated by injuries and still hold a 4-game lead over Seattle in their division, which is unbelievable. Unfreaking believable. Sellers, we already saw the Diamondbacks get rid of Naylor. Eugenio Suarez is one of the top prospect, if not the top prospect right now. So the Diamondbacks may move him. The Nationals, they dealt Rosario, and they're still looking to probably offload again. The Nationals, man, after winning a World Series, talk about an absolute implosion. Miami. It says Oakland. I would say Oakland is a seller, but dude, the A's, their prospects are awesome. The Oakland A's, they look good. I'm a fan. I'm a fan of what the A's are doing right now. Their young talent is unbelievable, and they're moving to Vegas. I'm putting stock in the A's, man. I'm not saying they're buyers, obviously, but I wouldn't be selling. Not any of the talent they got. They had a kid that just hit 4 home runs. He went 5 for 5 versus the Astros, hit 4 home runs, did some incredible stuff. He's a rookie. Just unbelievable. Chicago White Sox are sellers. Colorado Rockies, of course. The Pirates are sellers. Let's see what else we got. Teams that we're watching: Boston Red Sox and the Toronto Blue Jays. The Red Sox are under some pressure following up their Devers trade, right? With a starting pitcher or an impact bat. That's what they need. Maybe they could get a Joe Ryan. The Toronto Blue Jays, they were leading the majors record-wise. So it's sort of, do they add another arm, or do they get a bat? Help them try to get into the World Series. And Eugenio Suarez remains the top available prospect, right? For third base. Phillies, Astros, Cubs, Tigers. Those are your top teams for him. If the Astros get him, watch out. They need that bat. And if Jordan comes back healthy and you put Suarez in the mix for the Astros, wow. But then they're pitching. They need a bat and a pitcher. The Astros need a lot. And I know that sounds weird because they're like the 6th best team in the majors. They've they're winning their division by 4 games, but I don't know if they can. It's what they're doing is sustainable. Trade deadline 6 p.m. Eastern time on July the 27th. I'm sorry, as of July 27th, we're in full trade mode, but July 31st. You want more names? Here's the names that I got, man. Joe Ryan, I already mentioned, starting pitcher for Minnesota Twins. I already mentioned Suarez for third base. Mackenzie Gore, we had mentioned the Nationals being sellers. He could move. Dylan Cease. Look, starting pitcher Mackenzie Gore, Dylan Cease, or Joe Ryan. All 3 of those, phenomenal. There's rumors out there that Stephen Kwan, the incredible leadoff hitter for the Guardians, has a chance of being traded. Jaron Duran of the Red Sox. Joe, the other Duran for the pitcher for Twins. Emmanuel Clace, Cade Smith, the right-handed pitcher for the Guardians. Those are big names. Merrill Kelly, that could be huge. Merrill Kelly could be a good pickup, really good pitch-up for somebody. And Mitch Keller. Those guys both have a huge, huge chance to be traded. Sandy Alcantara from the Marlins, who has put together a horrible season, 6.6 ERA, man. But to a new team, maybe great. Zach Gallen. Dude, the Arizona pitchers, Zach Gallen and Merrill Kelly, are both on the block. Both on the block, and both have a really, really high chance of going somewhere. And those are good pitchers. That could help somebody win a World Series. So I look for Zach Gallen and Merrill Kelly to both be traded sometime soon. Ryan O'Hearn, the first baseman for the Baltimore Orioles, will be traded. David Bedard, the right-handed pitcher for the Pirates, should be traded. But if he's going, trade Paul Skeens, empty out somebody's farm system. I'm telling you, Pittsburgh, go trade Paul Skeens. You're going to get 3 or 4 absolute studs for Paul Skeens. The value for Skeens has never been higher. I'm not saying it won't get higher, but dude, buy low, sell high. You could get your payload for Paul Skeens right now would be unbelievable. Ryan Hensley, the right-handed pitcher or relief pitcher, for the Cardinals. Shane Bieber, the relief. Oh man, I don't know. Shane Bieber, starting pitcher for the Guardians. Dude, there's a lot of people that could be moved. Luis Robert Jr., Nolan Arenado, Marcell Osuna. That's a huge one. Huge one. Trade deadline. I'll get more into it Wednesday. Wednesday will be a big show with the MLB trade deadline because we'll be a day away. And then obviously on Friday, we'll go over everything that happened through the week on the MLB trade deadline. All right, let's thank a couple people before we get out of here. Chris's Tailgate Bar and Grill. Go to christailgate.com. Find one near you. Incredible award-winning hamburgers. Incredible lunch, incredible happy hours. They got goat yoga sometimes. Man, just go to christailgate.com. Find one. Go to Butler CCS. If you have any mold in your house, you have a leak, he does mold, he does roofing, he does fire damage, water damage, you name it. 713-330-9472 West Butler at Butler Roofing. Call Chris at C&E Pristine, guys. This guy is incredible for what he does for pools. 713-818-4868. PristinePool.net. That's PristinePool.net. 713-818-4868. And then last but not least, Ozona. Ozona. I was thinking about the trade deadline. Ordonez Movers. Fast, safe, reliable, and definitely affordable. 713-373-1659. 713-373-1659. That's Ordonez Movers. Give them a shout, man. Look, guys, thank you for tuning in to Sports with Balls. I'll be back on Wednesday. We'll breeze through more stuff of the NFL, MLB. I'll get into some running backs for fantasy football. We'll tear it up. I'm Jeff Michael to Sports with Balls. See you.